Hey, you guys. I'm gonna make this really quick because it is really late and I am in my little bathroom closet again because it is the only place in my house that I can go where I can talk and not wake up anybody else right now. So here's the thing. I have now had twice tonight, once 2 days ago, once within the last week, all different people saying the exactly same thing to me, and it is too important. I need to get this off my chest. I have heard so many times, no, we are not going to pray about this. That God has many important things that he's working on. This is small. This is my issue. It's not a big deal. I'll figure it out. I'm not going to bother God with that. And I'm going to tell you tonight that you guys, I have a little talk for you. Hope you'll deal with me. So I want to tell you a little something about small, and I'm hoping you'll hear me on this. I have been listening, I don't know, recently, and I've learned the older you get, the more the word recently doesn't even mean recently. It could have been last year, I'm not gonna lie. But within the last year, I've listened to Louis Giglio Passion Conference with Chris Tomlin, and it rocks my world, you guys. If you haven't watched any, Google it. Awesome. But this man and his knowledge of our universe, the universes out there and our earth, it'll blow your mind and it'll break your heart open in the coolest, most amazing way. I'm going to share you a couple snippets for those of you out there thinking that your problems are too tiny for your God. So, you know, this earth we live in, this one that mind blows us with, like, even all the places there are to visit, the depths of the ocean that are they're so deep that they haven't even explored part of it, right? The mountains that are so high, Mount Everest, that people can't even live up there. People have died trying to climb it because it's so high, right? We send astronauts into outer space and they're gone, like, whoa, we can't even wrap our head around how big all of this, and like our problems, they just seem so small, you guys. But I want to give you a little perspective tonight from my friend Louis Giglio. I don't have a quarter because I'm in my bathroom. I don't have a quarter, but imagine I have a quarter, and we're gonna put this to scale. The quarter is gonna represent the earth. Okay, so the earth is the size of this quarter right here. We're gonna imagine, and I want you to know that there are stars, singular, a star in the sky, but multiple different ones that are so big we can't even wrap our head around it, right? He shows them in his video, and I believe, if I'm right, I might be getting this one wrong, if we put our quarter next to a normal door, like a front door, the quarter would be the earth, the door would be our sun, right? Huge. Can't even imagine how many of these earths fit inside that sun. Crazy. Okay, then there's another star, so crazy big that you can put that quarter size of the earth at the base of the Empire State Building. Pretty cool, hey? And then put 7 Empire State Buildings on top of each other. That's the diameter of one of the giant stars compared to the earth. Then there's another one. This one, I am kidding you. I'm not kidding you, okay? You put a quarter next to the Golden Gate Bridge, and then you put another Golden Gate Bridge next to it, end to end, and that is another star that's so huge. I mean, you guys, do you get this? Do you get how huge this is? The biggest star they have yet to find, because they keep finding every new telescope, everything that can reach farther, they find bigger ones. But now the most gigantic one they found is, if the Earth is a quarter, you can put it at the base of Mount Everest. And the biggest star they've yet to find, the diameter of it is as tall as Mount Everest, you guys. Like, try to wrap your head around that. Okay, so here we are. I'm finding all these stars in our galaxy. You guys, there's 300 billion stars in our galaxy. And I don't even know. I don't know how many, so I'm just gonna throw a number out there because it's bigger than that. Thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of galaxies inside the universe. And science is even proving that the universes, they believe there's infinite of them because they just keep finding more. So this God that I'm hearing people say has bigger problems. I'm going to tell you a little secret. In the grand scheme of all of creation, the earth is nothing. It is so small it doesn't even warrant a pin drop in the map of the universes out there. And then on top of that, we live on that little earth. And if you look from a telescope from the moon and you look at our earth, there's not a chance you could even see 10 of us waving together, right? We're so minuscule. And yet, this same God that is too busy for your little thing came down in the flesh, grew up, and then he died on the cross for you on this little planet for these little people that he could blink and not even see anymore. So when we think that our problems are too small for this God, I'm telling you, our God is the God of small things. It is mind-blowing that we could even see ourselves as any problems as big, because in God's eyes, nothing is big. Now let me prove it to you, okay? And we've all heard the story of the Israelites coming out of Egypt with the plagues. Pretty awesome, right? I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this, but the whole goal of taking them out of that land was to bring them into a new land. God called it the Promised Land. It was the land where they were going to walk in, and there was going to be houses that they didn't have to build, that they were going to live in. There was going to be wells that they didn't have to dig, that were already dug, that they get to drink the water of. It was going to be flowing with milk and honey. Crazy abundance, right? All the stuff was already done. They were going to walk right into it. Well, these people weren't quite sure if that was even possible. And so what did God allow them to do? He allowed Moses to send in 12. There was 12 tribes. He chose one from each of the tribes, and he allowed them to go into the land to check it out, to see what this promise was. And a lot of you are going to know the story. Out of those 12 that came back, 10 of them said, not a chance. We will die if we try to take that land. They saw the Anakim, which were the giants of that time. Like, I think 11 feet tall. Don't quote me on that. It's late and I'm sitting in my bathroom. But these giants were in this land, and they saw those giants, and they tried to see them bigger than their God, but they couldn't. But there was 2 that could. And I've wondered my whole life, what was it? Like, what was different about them? Did God just give them a special faith? And I have no doubt that God absolutely, their faith was working big time in there. But I saw something I never, ever heard taught before. And I just think it's the coolest thing. So go to Numbers 13. This is the story of where Moses sends out the 12 spies. And verse 17, Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan. This is the promised land. And he said, go up into the south, go up to the mountains, see what the land is like. See the people who dwell in it. Are they strong and weak? Strong or weak? Few or many? See what it's like, whether the land they dwell is good or bad, whether the cities they inhabit are camps or strongholds, right? So he's saying, check it out. Go to the mountains and see. But then God showed me. He showed me what happened, you guys. Verse 21, so they went out. They went and spied the land from the wilderness of Zin as far as Rehob, near the entrance of Hamath. And they went up through the south, and they came to Hebron, Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai. The descendants of the Anakim were there. These are the giants. Then they came to the valley of Eshal, and there they cut down the branch of grapes. You guys, God told them through Moses, go to the mountains. Tell me what it looks like. This land that I've promised you, these giants, he knew they were there. He never told them they would close their eyes and pretend they're not there. He said, go to look at them through the mountains. And what did they do? They looked at them from the valley. They went to where their feet could touch the ground. And they looked up at these giants and they said, no chance, we will die. When all the time, their God, who sees in a way we never could see, never wanted them to see it from their point of view. He wanted them to go to the mountains to see the way he saw. And you know what? Here's a secret. He sees everything from that view. All of us are like ants in his eyes compared to his awesomeness. We can't even hold a finger, and yet he adores us. So whatever it is before you today, I want you to go to his mountain because the view up there is beautiful. And I want you to ask him to give you eyes for how little it is. And then I want you to bring it to him because the God we serve is the God of little things. If he made this planet and put it in the midst of such vast, incredible awesomeness that the scientists are spending billions and billions and billions of dollars to explore and see, there's got to be something else out there. How on earth could it just be us, you guys? These little people on this little tiny earth. That God made us little tiny so we would know how big he is and we would give him all of our problems. Don't forget it.